Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday, everybody. It is August the 22nd.
Man,
We've made it through the week. It is officially the weekend. So before we get to start into this wonderful conversation, I want to say I am Keisha. I am one half of the host of the Regal Mindset podcast show. Jay, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll get
I
to introduce our guests.
absolutely. I am Dr. Joy, the coach, and I am the other half of the Regal Mindset Show. And listen, y'all got a treat tonight.
Yeah. So absolutely. So I want to introduce our lovely guest. I slid in her DMs. Yes, I did.
Come on now, you better slide.
Slide right on in there. So yeah, I have talked to her and spoken to her before. She helped me out on some business information. But Karonda Fredericks is going to join us tonight and help us with the conversation of credit confidence.
Yes,
I
I
love
yes,
it.
love
yes,
that.
yes.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
excited.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Before we get started, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to come on and speak because I'm passionate about this and I love talking about this. So I was like, "Psh, that was a no-brainer. Yes.
I love that. Perfect, perfect. Well, so again, Karonda, just to catch you up and the audience members as well, Regal Mindset, we're dedicated to the well-being of the entire LGBT family and the communities who support us. And a part of that is we focus on the pillars family, finance, mental and physical health. And we feel like finance is something that we need to have more discussion about so that the community is aware of what to do, how to do it, and how to move going forward.
Exactly. I think that's so true for
Yeah, yeah.
sure. Real quick, is there a little echo?
Yeah,
Anybody?
I'm gonna look and see. Yeah, it says that it's canceled out. I don't know what caused that, but hopefully that fixed it.
I don't hear it now.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well maybe we fix it. So
Yes.
help us out, Karonda. So I sent you a couple notes that we can talk about, and you're more than welcome to give us some feedback from an expert perspective. But why is credit so important to us?
Credit for a number of reasons. It opens so many doors for opportunities with, financing. That's going to be the biggest thing is financing. That could be a car, credit card, mortgage, even rental. You name it. Credit literally revolves around everything. And I think the most important thing is what I tell people is that nowadays with the economy the way it is, people just don't have a lot of money in the bank. They just don't. So now is the time to really focus on one, investing in yourself, working on your credit, because if you don't have money and cash to fall back on, at least you have your credit to fall back on. And that actually happened to me back in 2015, 2016. I moved to Texas, didn't have a job. Luckily at the time I had good credit, I had credit cards, but I literally had to live off of my credit cards. And it was like robbing one credit card to pay the next, to pay a bill. Let me see, if I can get a cash advance off of one credit card to pay another bill. Like it was, yeah, it was living off of my credit cards. And then, I got behind. And of course, my credit score dropped. But
Hmm.
yeah, if you don't have leverage, if you don't have good credit and you don't have the cash, you're literally stuck.
Mm, you're right.
You're
You're right.
stuck. You can't
Right.
do anything again because one of the things that people are always going to ask, what is your credit score? Or they're going to run your credit. It doesn't matter what it is, a phone, trying to get a phone, lights, cable, all of that revolves around your credit. So, it's very, very important for one to people acknowledge and to see, okay, let me look at my credit. Because,
Yeah.
when I talk to people, they have no idea. They know that it's bad, but I think sometimes we get fearful and scared to even look. But at the same time, that's the first thing we have to acknowledge is, okay, we gotta see what's on our credit.
Right.
We have to acknowledge that we need help and we
Hmm.
have to acknowledge that we gotta get started.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, we've been told, even as a community, cash is king, cash is king, cash is king. And we're seeing now that credit is king. And some of the clients that talk to, um, I tell them they're looking to get business funding, business credit, all of that good stuff. And yes, I can help you with that. However, if you don't have recurring income on your business, we're going to have to use your personal credit
Yes.
to build you a profile. But once you have that business credit, oh, you're golden because you
Yes.
have more leverage, you have more of a open landscape when it comes down to credit opportunities. But we have to get into that mindset of credit is king and understanding. And I know that we're going to go through it, the different mixes, understanding the value of it is more than just paying your bills.
Yes.
And because you want to be able to build it and structure it the correct way, because you can pay your bills on time and still have no credit.
Exactly.
You can, and so please help us understand the value in structuring our credit the correct way.
Yes. So, and I'm glad that you brought that up because we, as a community, of
Hmm.
course, we're focused on a credit score.
Mhm.
Hmm.
We have to look past that. We have to look at our entire profile because we now have to shift our mindset to thinking like a financial institution is thinking, and they're
Hmm.
wanting to look at, oh, you've got a 700 but you still have this, that, and the other, and you can still get denied. So we have to take in consideration what is making up our score. How do we even
Hmm.
get this score, right? So it's broken down into 5 different factors. The first one is your payment history. That makes up 35% of your score, right? So that's 190 some points right there that, we've got to make our payments on time. We make a late payment, that's dropping our score anywhere from 50 to 100 points.
Mm.
Hmm.
Quickly, yes. The next one is your credit utilization. So, a couple of things with that. If you don't have any credit cards, that's 162 points you're missing.
Mm.
Yes, off
Mm.
Hmm.
top. If you don't have any, or you've messed some up, they've closed, went to collections, whatever, those are points that you're not getting. So I always stress to people that's one of the things we have to start doing when we work on our credit is now we got to start building credit. So we need at least 1 to 2, and that's just to start out because I don't want people to get inundated with debt. But I want you to be able to manage 1 to 2 secured cards. Secured cards meaning that you have to put money on them, as your line of credit. It's just a starter
Hmm.
card, right? But once you do that, this is just typically my rule of thumb. When you start using these credit cards, I need you to pay them off every month. Use them, pay them off. Use them, paying off. Reason being is because by the time that account reports to the credit bureaus, and if you still have a balance left over, typically you'll start to see your score drop, right? 30% is the rule, but even if you leave 30%, your score is going to start to drop. Now, another thing is you want to keep in mind is the interest rates. Y'all know these interest rates on credit cards are ridiculous.
Yeah.
So if you pay it off every month, you're not paying that interest, right? So again, 30% of your score is credit card usage. So we got to have some credit cards, some revolving lines of credit going. 15% is the derogatory accounts, right? How many accounts do we have that are negative,
Mm.
right? You want to have zero. No collections, no charge offs, no repos, none of that. You want to have zero. All right. And then another 15% is your credit mix. Again, you want to have revolving lines of credit, but you also want to have some type of loan, whether it's student loans, car loan, personal loan, because again, financial institutions are looking at how well you can manage a credit card, how well can you
Mm.
manage a loan, right? And the crazy part that I hear all the time is people want to get rid of their student loans, including me, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But they're looking at, okay, I've got this student loan debt. But if you really think about it, I'm 47 years old. I've been out of school 20 some years. That is the oldest account that I have on my credit. So I don't want to get rid of that,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
know? Now, if I can keep them in good standing, even if they're in deferment and I'm not paying them monthly, it's still a good standing account, right? And then the last one is your inquiries. How many inquiries do we have? I have seen accounts with Y'all, I'm talking 100+ inquiries.
Oh, they just checking every day. They checking every day.
Yes. To be
Mm-hmm.
honest, you don't want more than two.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You don't want more than two inquiries on your credit. If need be, no more than four, but if you can get it down to two, that's perfect. Now, the thing with inquiries is that they typically stay on your credit for 2 years. After that 2 year mark, they will fall off, but you can dispute inquiries that are not tied to an open account. So all these 100 and some inquiries, a lot of them I can already tell you are from dealerships right
Mm-hmm.
off bat.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I-
because
didn't
they
think
just
about
run
that.
it like it's crazy.
Yeah.
yes, they
Okay.
do. Yep.
Wow.
And I'm going to give a little tip about that too. So, what I typically tell my clients that are looking to purchase another vehicle or a vehicle, if you're banking with whoever, I don't care if it's a credit union, a major bank, if you've built a relationship up with them, meaning you've got a checking, a savings,
Mm-hmm.
whatever type of product with them, and you've been with them, get the loan through them.
Mm.
That way, you've got one inquiry and you're just paying that loan back versus you going to the dealership sitting all day, you know,
Oh yeah,
maybe or maybe
that well,
not.
I can't do that.
Interest rates ridiculous. So why not get financed through who you bank with? You've got the one inquiry, you've got that loan through them that you can pay back.
Mm-hmm.
Typically they'll cut you a check, you take it to the dealership.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So if
That's
people can really, and I'm going to tell you a thing, people always talk about Credit Karma. Oh, it's not accurate. I hear so much about Credit Karma. The thing I like about Credit Karma is it shows you those 5 factors,
Mm-hmm.
right?
mm.
So if you look at it, and a lot of times people, this is another thing about Credit Karma, people don't really, they get it, they have the app, but they don't know how to use it, right?
Ah. Okay.
So
Okay.
once you log into your Credit Karma account, you're going to see two scores, TransUnion and Equifax.
Mm-hmm.
If you click on either one, right, it's going to take you to another screen that's going to show you your score factors. Right there, if your payment history does not say 100%, that
Mm.
tells me that you already have late payments, right? Credit card usage is going to give you a percent. If there's a percent more than 0%, that means you've got some credit, a balance on your credit cards, right? Derogatory accounts, it's going to list how many you have. It's going to tell you how many inquiries you have, and it's going to tell you your credit age
Mm-hmm.
as well. So people really need to focus on that if they're going to use Credit Karma.
Mm-hmm.
Just click on that. Click on either TransUnion or Equifax. It's going to take you to score factors. If you look at those, you can see, okay, this is the areas that I need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
Payment history, okay, that means I've had some late payments in the past. I got to work on that. I got to make sure from here on out that I can't have any more late payments.
Right.
Right. So that's one easy thing that people can do, just at least to start looking at it
Yeah.
and then figuring out, okay, this is what I need to work on.
Okay.
And then
So
sometimes, I come across clients, well, not clients, I'll say people that are inquiring that don't even need my services. But it could be their credit card usage is too high.
mm-hmm.
And so I'll just say, hey, if you pay these off, your score is going to start to go up.
Right.
Right.
So we have a question.
Yes.
So Stephen asked, do we use them? Because this is going back to when you mentioned about getting the credit card, secure card, and everything like that. Do we use them to pay our monthly bills to build our credit?
Yes. That
Oh,
is a
okay.
That is a great strategy because think about it. If you're paying your bills with your debit card,
Mm-hmm.
you're not getting any rewards, you're not getting any points, you're not getting anything beneficial from that, but just paying it. So why not use your credit cards to pay your bills? Especially if you have credit cards that are giving you cash back, giving you the rewards, giving you points. Like I had I've got three American Express, but I had at one time over 200 and some thousand points on my
Mm,
American Express card just because I was using it for everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm.
yeah,
Okay.
if you can get in the habit of paying, and you can start with one just to see how you can manage it, a water bill, a phone bill, something small. Start doing that to pay your bills, and then that's the thing. You want a high limit, and I want to say high Secured cards are going to give you 200, 300, depending on what you put on it, right? But if you can get a credit limit that's going to be able to cover all of your bills, go ahead and do that. And then, like I said, you want to pay it off. You still want to pay it off because now you
Mhm.
have the money in the bank, right? You've just used the credit card. So now you just want to
To
pay the
get the
credit card back.
benefits.
Yeah,
Because
responsible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
right, and I think that's the whole thing. A lot of people understand that the benefits in using credit cards, and also, and we're going to get, because we have another question, but I
Hmm.
also want to go into a breakdown of the various levels of credit card, because you jumped all the way up to American Express. Some people can't even get Sky, Open
Right.
Sky. So we have to understand. So we're going to talk about that, but let's go to our question. Is there a
Um,
benefit? Is that the one? Okay,
to
there.
freezing your credit. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah.
Mhm.
So you definitely want to freeze it. Not everybody does, but I hear this so many times. There's people, family, friends, scammers, whoever, that are using your credit. So it's a good thing to freeze your credit. Like I have mine frozen because
Okay.
if I'm applying for something, they know that it's me. And if somebody else is trying to apply, you should get some type of notification or set up a code to where now whoever's trying to run your stuff, they're gonna, is this you? Right? But yes, it's important to freeze your credit reports. Now, if it's time for you to start applying for something,
Mhm.
call them up and say, hey, I need to unfreeze this for 24 hours. Then you can put the freeze back on.
Good advice. Good advice.
Yeah.
So now I know this is probably a follow-up question, but should we freeze it with all the bureaus or just a specific one that is probably more vulnerable? Like Equifax just sent me $10 and some change for some breach that I don't know when the breach happened. I don't even know if I was affected. I'm just going to spend that $10.43 or whatever it was. But should
Exactly.
we freeze it with all of them or just
Yes.
okay?
All of them. Hmm.
Good stuff.
So I'm gonna bring this up before we get into the credit card thing, because I think a lot of people are misinformed when it comes down to the various companies that report credit.
Yep.
In all honesty, there's only one bureau. That's the CFPB.
Exactly.
Now you have three companies that are looked at as bureaus, but they get their information from sub companies. And the
Yes.
reason why I'm bringing that up is because when I help people to get business loans, especially through SBA companies or CDCs, they you LexisNexis, they actually pull them before they even care about what's on TransUnion.
Right.
It's weird because LexisNexis is like a skip tracing. They're gonna find everything possible and report it.
And they
So
do.
yeah, so help us to navigate through that if you can.
So yes, there are second. Let me just back up. When I say credit bureaus, I say that because a lot of people know
Mm,
TransUnion, Experian, Equifax as credit bureaus, but they're
Right.
actually credit reporting agencies, right? Just like Joy said, the CFPB is the main component, right? But yes, you also have secondary bureaus such as LexisNexis, CoreLogic. Um, I just had a brain fart.
it's so many
um,
of them out
it
there.
is, and it really is. So a lot of times, the information that financial institutions are pulling, you may not see it on one bureau or another, but they're getting that from those secondary bureaus.
Mhm.
And if you've ever looked at a LexisNexis report, it literally has everything almost since you was born.
Oh wow.
Man.
I didn't know
It
that.
has everything, everything.
And most security clearances use LexisNexis, believe it or not.
Okay.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
people, that if you don't put the right answer the question right, they're
Yeah.
going to find it.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, for
I've
sure.
So
had a couple clearances.
right.
Luckily, I
So
answered right.
exactly. It's like I know it there. So that's the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
Yes.
That is the CFPB. I love them. I fight with them almost every week.
Okay.
I mean, I use them as a weapon every week
Okay.
because,
Yes.
real quick, they are very instrumental in getting the correct attention. Now,
Okay.
do they help solve problems? Not always, but they get the attention necessary
Right.
because we purchased a car and, they tried to, we had to exchange it. They didn't want to give us our deposit back. I said, "Are you sure?" They said, "No, we're not." Okay. I sit that and did that little complaint. While we was in church on Sunday, I got a message from the car lot saying, we've already transferred. Thank you.
Right.
And it was literally just to get their attention because they don't want that investigation. Because if too many people,
Hmm.
complain, oh,
Yeah.
they will file a lawsuit on your behalf, but you got to get there first.
Exactly. Yes. And that's again, that's another leverage that people may not know, that yes, we have other entities that
Mhm.
are going to work on your behalf too.
Right.
Yep.
I love it. I love it.
We
So
got
Stephen
another
asked,
question. Yeah.
yeah, is there a way to verify or check what's on the Lexus Nexus?
Yeah.
So
You
we
just
just
go to,
call them?
just, you can pull it up online.
Oh, really? Okay.
Hmm.
All
Hmm.
right.
It's
So
like
Yep.
I would
requesting a
Google that.
report, correct? It's
Yes.
like, okay, so
Yep. Just
Stephen, you would
request the
go on there and
report.
request a report.
It's
Okay.
long.
Wow. I'm interested to see what's on mine, just so I know. Yeah. I've
Because
never.
you'll know what other people are looking at.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Good
But
stuff.
also, that brings a good point too, is that I kind of touched on it earlier about we should really know what's on our credit,
Yeah.
because there could be things that are not ours.
Inaccurate or, yeah. Okay.
Well, not even that, but just somebody else has used our information.
Oh, good
Uh-huh.
point.
Yep.
Oh,
You
man.
know, and believe it or not, it's so common because a profile is created every time there's some type of variance.
Okay.
So when I did my credit report, um, and I actually requested to get a whole new social security number, and that's a whole totally different topic. You got to be special to get one of those.
Okay.
But
Special.
I found out, my mom, she had her variation of her name on mine. I had credit since the 90s, and a, you know, I wasn't even a preteen in the 90s.
Hmm.
So you looking at, and then too, me and my sister, we both have the same up to the last four, but we was born in two different states, and we have New York socials. In addition to that, so it could be, because of family relation, they could say, hey, it's too close. You could
Yeah.
have used one or the other. And my social security number wasn't available to 1985, even though I received it in 1978, and it's a New York number. So all of those made me eligible to at least meet with Social Security to get a new Social Security number
Yeah.
because it was already attached to somebody and they shouldn't have never gave it to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm
yeah,
telling you, it's
you
a lot.
That is
yeah,
crazy.
you got to look at all of that stuff. I
Mhm.
mean, again, variations of names, old addresses, and look, now we're talking about personal
Phone numbers.
information, phone numbers, old addresses, employment. I remember looking at mine years ago. They had a California address listed on mine. I've
Mhm.
never lived in California.
Crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
So here's another question. And Shakia, I'm gonna get to you as well. Or you can go ahead and ask your question in the chat and we'll get to you. Make sure you guys are following us on
Mhm.
YouTube as well. And like and share the content so other people can join in. But
And
one question,
notifications.
yeah,
Make sure you
one
sign up
people
for notifications.
one thing I know people are going to ask, sometimes there's a variation in terms of your score and the data and the information between the
Mhm.
agencies or the bureaus, as you mentioned. Excuse me. Should we be concerned with that, or is that just something that they calculate it differently?
So what happens is if you see your scores different on all three bureaus, that means that the creditors, whoever you have done business with, may not report to all three.
Mhm.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yes.
That
So
would make
that's why
sense.
you'll see a difference in scores. Also, when you open and close accounts, that averages out the age of your credit. So even if, I'm disputing and I get an account off of one bureau and not the
Uh-huh.
other two at the same time, again, that's going to fluctuate your score, right? So
Uh-huh.
adding, subtracting, um, and again, it's the creditors are doing business with the credit reporting agencies. So whoever they feel like they want to, report to, that's who they report to. So you,
Mm,
Right.
again, those are things to look at, and it's not anything concerning per se. It's just doing business. That's it.
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
So if we could, can we pivot back to credit cards? Because
Yes.
I would love for our viewers and listeners to know, one, the difference in the credit card charge card, the difference between secured, unsecured, and understand that there are levels. There's prime, subprime, so forth and so on. So can you walk us through that?
Yep. So let's start with secured, unsecured, right? A secured card, again, is just you putting your own money on the card as a line of credit. Typically, you'll get approved for those types of credit cards. There may be some requirements, like if you have an active bankruptcy or um, maybe income or something. I don't know. But typically, a secured card is just you putting your own money on it. Now, some people are like, well, if I put my money on it and then I use it, I got to pay it back. Yeah, yes. You do, because now you have to think it's just a line of credit. You've used that line, you've got to pay it back, right? Unsecured is Capital One. They're giving you $300. Now, that's the only difference is they're giving you a line of credit versus you giving yourself a line of credit, right? The
Mhm.
good thing is with both is that typically if the credit card company sees that you're making payments on time, for a certain amount of time, they'll bump that up, your limit up, which is nice because now
Hmm.
your credit utilization is higher. And if you keep a low balance, that's even better,
Hmm.
right?
Mm, okay.
Um, Charge card, just like the Amex, right? It's just a charge card. Typically, and I'm giving you an example for Amex, is that Amex is a charge card, meaning you have, well, let me say this. There's a preset limit, especially on mine. I have a preset limit. Now, when I got the card, I was calling them. I'm like, okay, what is my limit? Like, y'all ain't telling me what is it unlimited? And it really is unlimited, but they have a preset spending. So your
Oh,
preset spending is up to $10,000 a month, right? So you can
Hmm.
charge it up to $10,000 a month. But if you go over a penny, they're gonna want look at Joy. They're gonna want all of that 10,000 plus penny
All of it.
in that same month,
oh,
right?
okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay. And that's what
yeah.
Amex, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah,
Because
yeah.
Yep.
some of y'all remember the first charge cards, like the old JC Penney cards. I know our grandmas had those.
Yeah,
The little serious
Yes.
card. That we used to have the store cards, and you have to pay
Yep.
them things back in 30 days.
Right.
So don't get caught up with these people on TikTok telling you to get this credit card stacking, and you in jail because you done pulled this money out these cards. Jail is always a factor.
yeah, yeah.
Listen.
Uh, And you know what? That's a good point, Jay. And I want to bring that up because I'm sure a lot of people do get a lot of their advice or
From
incorrect
TikTok.
information from social media. Is there is there a good time to utilize credit stacking versus just borrowing the money from an external source, perhaps a bank or whatever, to do what it is you need to do? Is anything positive about credit stacking?
It I guess it depends on the situation. I see a lot of people doing credit card stacking when it comes to real estate investing.
Yeah.
Um, but again, it goes back to because people don't have the money, the cash flow,
Hmm.
So of course they're gonna try to stack and then use that to get, put down towards whatever the investment is, right?
Right.
Um, so yeah, it really just depends. I don't do card stacking.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I try to,
Because you'll go to jail. And I don't
yeah,
think people get that because that what they call the Navy Federal hack and
hacks.
this one hack. And listen, if it got hack on it, you're going to jail. Just stop.
And people were, yeah, and that was the thing. That was a whole like, um, not a thread, but what do I
It's a
want to say?
thing.
Trend. It was on the trending
Trend.
Trend.
trend. Yeah.
It was. People were doing it left and right, and then Navy Federal caught on, right? And now then people, yeah, I
You
always tell,
can't.
and it's so funny. We're talking about, a lot of people look into social media for information. I get clients they'll send me something they saw on social media. Is this true?
And I'm like, you didn't pay that fee for me to say if it's true or not. I got a fee for that. $35 for a yes or no answer.
And after a while, I have to tell them, stop listening to all of these people because you're going to get consumed with all of this information, and then you don't know what's true, what's right, what's wrong. Just look, follow my lead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep it
I don't
agree.
simple.
I don't think we have patience as a community.
We don't.
So if we see somebody and it can't happen, and let's be honest, right? I've been in this game of life for a while, and everything wasn't always on the straight and narrow.
Right.
And but I did enough to get me to survive. And then I said, I mean, whether it was a CPN, so anything like that, I did enough
Right.
not to intent to defraud. I
Right.
paid them people their stuff back. When my credit got back together, I used my own. And me and my credit been good ever since. But you live and you learn lessons.
Yeah.
But you can get yourself in predicaments. Even I'm gonna bring up one. Credit sweeps. Good, profitable, works, but you got to keep in mind everybody is not doing it the way that's going to keep you out of jail, because you can go
Exactly.
to jail too.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
that was actually a question. So could you do you mind exploring credit sweeps and different credit repair options?
Well, for one, just work on the credit.
Hmm.
That's the main thing. Like if you need a credit sweep, you waited too long to work on your credit. Like now
So,
you're in a rush to, oh, I gotta get this. I gotta, I
Hmm.
gotta try to get this apartment. I gotta try to, get this vehicle. Like you've already known, you've known that your credit was jacked up months, years ago. So now you need this quick fix of let me do this sweep real quick. Like Joy said, sweeps, you can go to jail.
oh, so what exactly is a suite, though? I
It's just a
remember the conversation, but I don't know all the details or
it's
what
kind
it
of
is.
like an expedited service that will basically clear up all your derogatories in a short amount of time, and you're using some illegal methods to get that
You're
off.
lying. You're basically
Ah,
lying.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
You're lying.
okay.
Yeah. So you know
I mean,
let's just
eventually
work
they're
on the
gonna,
credit.
yeah, they're gonna
Like,
catch on. People will catch
yeah,
on.
and if that's the
Hmm.
thing, if you're not, you're going to pay somebody to do a sweep, you might as well just pay somebody to work on your credit.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? But at the same time, a sweep is just a temporary thing because you still didn't learn how to actually properly fix your credit,
That,
and
yeah.
you're going to be back in the same boat. You're going to jack everything up again. You're going to want another sweep, but just learn the fundamentals of what it's going to take for you to fix your credit,
Hmm,
right?
hmm.
The 5 factors. The 5 factors, that's all y'all need. Don't worry about what letter to use, you know, the 5 factors. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, another thing that's been happening on social media again, which is not entirely true or not good practices, is that you have to go to someone else to fix your credit, right? As if we don't have the tools or the ability to do it ourselves. I think we can. Is it does take a lot of practice and a lot of information. You've really got to understand what contributes to your credit, right? And how and what is there particular stages or steps that we should go in, but you can do it yourself.
You can. And matter of fact, it's so funny that we talked about it because I'm about to drop a DIY September 8th.
Okay.
Literally, it when I say easy, like, well, I have a 23-year-old. I was gonna say if I had a little tot, it's literally drop down, choose this, choose that. It's giving you the templates, it's giving you the verbiage, it's literally giving you everything. You just have to take the time to do it.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's what people don't have. They say they don't have the time to work on their credit. Y'all listen, we have time. We have the time. Even if it takes you 10, 15, 20 minutes, like we have that time to literally be able to do it on our own. You can even start today by contacting all 3 credit bureaus, updating your personal information. This address I no longer live at. It shouldn't be on
Hmm.
my credit report. I no longer work here. This name is not mine, or it's spelled incorrect. Clean that up. That's one thing you can do on your own right
Hmm.
now, is cleaning up your personal information, because a lot of times old accounts can be tied to that information. And so if you get that cleaned up, look, you can have a collection or a charge off or whatever. It could be removed just simply by updating your personal information,
Yeah.
Hmm.
right?
Good stuff.
Inquiries. Another thing that people can start doing now is getting those inquiries that are not tied to an open account, get those taken off. Again, call the bureaus. This inquiry, it was unauthorized, or sometimes it could be on there for longer than 2 years, whatever. But if it's not tied to an open account, it's got to go. And so you don't have to wait the 2 years.
Right. And if I could add, and people again, is patience.
Yes.
Because we get so caught up, we and especially some people who have nervous issues, that when credit collection agencies call me, I'm arguing with you. I don't care. I find time to argue. So when collection agencies call, you have to be mindful that they've purchased that, and so you may not owe the original creditor, and you have to be able to understand that when you entertain them, then
Mhm.
they keep recycling it and updating it as if it just happened yesterday.
Yep.
So you want to make sure that you're entertaining things the correct way. Case in point, I had a creditor, and I was like, you know what? I remember the debt. I'm gonna go ahead and just pay it because I got a security clearance. So I was like, let me just go ahead and take it. So I set up a payment arrangement, and Spirit said, "Girl, what you doing?" I said, "Let me call these people and see how old this thing is, because in the state of Maryland, you can't come out the debt that's more than 2 years old." So
Oh,
I called them, and the lady telling me, and I play dumb, and she's like, "Well, the debt was on this date," and I said, "What was the date again?" She told me the date. I sent them a whole email. It was should have been up under my bankruptcy in 2018 because you said that debt was from 2017. I got my letter in the mail that they had to clear it out, and they refunded me the money I had paid into it.
See?
come on
And
now.
listen, you have to be patient, and you did it. Like, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
I know I did that debt, but I also know I filed bankruptcy in 2018. I know it shouldn't be coming back to haunt me.
Yeah.
Exactly. See, little things like that people don't know. And again, that's, where we come into play, because now we're able to look and dive
Hmm.
into specifics of this account. People just see I owe LVNV funding.
Oh, I hate them. That was who it was. That's who it was. And can I
You,
say something? They will take you to court. If you
yes.
don't show up, they will win a judgment and they will garnish your wages.
Yeah.
Just
There's a
want you to
few
know
of them
that.
that will
Yeah.
they will push it to the limit. And yes, but and that again, that goes back to another point, is that if we are, I'm just give, medical bills, right? If you know that you've been to the doctor, you get a bill, you know that you can't pay that bill in full, call them and set up a payment arrangement, or ask for financial assistance.
That's
Yeah,
an option.
yes, I trust and believe. I've done it years ago. I don't have this money. Like, can you work with me?
Yeah.
You know, give them a story.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But I think it's gotten to where, I mean, it's been like that, but, we get in this debt, medical bills, whatever, any type of bill, and we get it in the mail, we just push it to the side because we know we can't pay it. Call them, call them people before it gets to a collection status, or before it gets to charged off, or before it gets to repo status. Call these people. Some people are willing to work with you, like
Good
even
stuff.
on a car, a vehicle. If you've been behind, call them. Say you've been behind 2 months, but you have had this car for 3 years and never made a late payment, but life happened. Call them and see if they'll put those payments on the back end, so now you can catch up,
Hmm.
right? All you got to do is make a phone call.
I love that.
It's social anxiety. These jokers these days, they scared to talk to anybody. And that was it. And I'm gonna be honest, that was including me. I had such a fear of the inevitable.
Yeah.
And so I took, the same advice you just gave. I literally just implemented this within the last month.
Hmm.
And what I found out is two things. There's always a plan that they have. You just need to call and ask what that plan is.
Yep.
Mm.
And one, we had three cars. I was making almost double what I was making now, so three cars was easy. But then when I lost those jobs, almost 3, 4 years ago, it wasn't easy no more.
Exactly.
I called them right up now. Actually, I did something else, but I ain't gonna tell y'all that part. But the good part is I called them up and told them, "Hey, XYZ about this car. Either y'all want the car, or I need, I'm gonna voluntarily, give it up." They made a settlement with me.
Mm.
I sold that car and paid them with the money I sold the car for. I'm done. We're done. Then, so you have to look at that. And even with my truck, I had got behind on my truck, and I called them. They lowered my interest rate. They took my payments down for 6 months while they was going through a loss. They don't want this stuff back.
Right. Right.
They want you to figure out a way to pay it.
Yeah.
If you're in a problem with your house when 2020 hit and jobs was being lost in 21 and 22, I had to call for help on our house, on our home.
Hmm.
And if it wasn't for the fact that I called, I would not have gotten the help that we needed to make sure that we didn't lose our home.
Yep.
So call these people. Quit playing.
That's all you got to do. Call them, even if it's $20 a month.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
I didn't know
something.
that was an option. Yeah, Jay. That's good stuff. I appreciate you sharing
Oh
that.
yeah, we sold that car. Now,
Yeah.
granted, I did lie to the lady. I was like, I'm gonna get the money out my 401k, and so they's like, we're gonna settle. They settled, and I went right to that car lot.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
KBB.com.
Yeah.
Sold it. I said, can y'all send them the check? They already made the arrangement. I don't
Right.
Yeah.
care.
Right.
That's good stuff.
And they got their stuff. I'm like, I'm not paying that no more because you are
Yeah.
so underwater on these cars.
Yeah.
And it was a 2018 Lincoln and MKZ, nice car, but I still had $18,000 to go, and the car was only worth 8,600.
Ooh.
No, you're
Way
going to
upside
take this
down.
exactly. I told him, I said, either we could settle. Settled at 9. I said we could settle at 9, or you can come get it.
Yeah.
They
That's good.
settled at 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known that. When my mom passed away, she had just bought her car, and I explained to him, I sent him the certificate and everything. Listen, she's no longer here. She said, "Well, there's a what is it, co-signer or whatever?" My aunt was
Hmm.
a co-signer. So then it's like, well, she could pay it.
Yeah,
Okay.
they do not care.
Yeah, they didn't care. So she and I took care of it for 3 years, and
Wow.
yeah, it was crazy. I did not know that they would have done that, or I had the
Oh,
option.
can I ask you to speak on? Keisha brought up the perfect example. When people pass and you're responsible for their debts,
Yeah.
do you recommend? Because I already know what I'm saying. Do you recommend them resolving a deceased individual debts, or do you recommend
The
what
other
I'm thinking in
person.
my head?
Right. I mean, just like you said, you and your aunt had to, like, your aunt was probably the co-signer because of whatever reason your mom couldn't get it in her name. Like, to
Right.
me, they should dissolve that debt once they get that death certificate,
Right. Right.
you
I agree.
know?
Yeah.
And but, contracts say another thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
the co-signer is still responsible,
Yeah.
right? Um Joy, me personally, I just don't feel that somebody else should be responsible for that debt. You
Right.
know,
And I feel the same way. When my mom passed, I had to hear people, they was calling, and I told them, I said, I'm be honest, I said she dead. As much as it hurt for me to say that,
Yeah.
I don't know what you want. I don't know what you're gonna get.
yeah,
Well, it's her estate. I
Yep.
say, think about what you just said. It's a JTV account. Why does she have an estate and she got a JTV and a QVC account? She don't have an estate, sir.
right.
And so, but in the case of with Keisha, that other person was still living, it would have impacted them. So you
Yeah.
want to
And that's
be
why I did it.
right, yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
But me, if they gone, so is them debts.
Yeah. Yeah.
it
So
went
basically,
with
the
it
car
went with
sat
them.
outside for three
Yeah,
years until we paid it off. I didn't need a car. I mean, I couldn't sell
yeah.
it because it wasn't even mine. I mean, it was a headache. But yeah, so I appreciate your guidance on that. And to your point, Jay, I would say, yeah, they're gonna have to come after the state. Good luck with that.
Good luck, because
Right.
it ain't none.
Exactly.
Then they just
And
got to come
and
pick up the car. Like,
Yeah,
what are
I
you
would have
and
dropped
doing?
it
then and
off.
then and then they're gonna get mad because they're not car lots. They're
Uh-huh.
not, they're just like if they try to foreclose on your home. That's one thing I love about the state of Maryland. Maryland will fight for you to keep your home. They have, and so that's another thing. Check with your state and your county.
Hmm.
Maryland has so many programs, so many grants to make sure, like, if your home goes up under foreclosure, because ours did, and I think it was like 21 or 22, it went under foreclosure, well, pre foreclosure. And when they have to notify the state sent me a notice, how can we help? I said, well,
What?
I ain't know you can help, but since you asked,
Good
so
stuff.
there, I'm telling you, like
Yeah.
she said, call them, find out. If it wasn't for the fact that they had Maryland requires them to notify them, I would not have known that there were opportunities out there. I would have just said, hey, we're gonna lose this house and we just need to go head on.
Yeah,
Hmm.
good stuff. Kamanda, you
Yeah.
were gonna say something?
Mm.
I was going to talk about cosign
Oh,
co-signing.
yeah. Don't do it. Go ahead. What you said?
Do not, please do not, unless, and I don't even, well, I'll say this. I co-signed for my daughter, and that was simply because she didn't have the income,
Oh,
right, to basically satisfy the monthly payment,
Yeah,
even though
got that.
she really does, but she needed my income to go on with it. But she pays her note faithfully. She's got it set up on auto pay. But anything else, please do not co-sign. I don't care if it's an apartment, a car. I don't care if it's siblings, mama, daddy, brother, sister, because it always comes back to bite you in the tail every single time.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, me too.
It never works out right at
Yeah.
all. And I've had clients that have done it multiple times. I'm like, you didn't learn
Hmm.
after the first time? Just
I
trying to
wish
help,
I knew you a
and they
couple years ago.
Just
trying to
trying
help
to help.
somebody out.
You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. I did that for my wife, and so I have 3 cars in my name. I drive 1 car. Now the problem with that is,
That was shade.
well, it's I'm
You
being
said I
honest,
drive
but
one car.
right. My point is, yes, it is my wife, and I wanted to help her out, but it's really heavy on my credit in
Yeah.
terms of having those other 2 cars on there, right?
It is.
She pays those bills faithfully, and I'm appreciative of that, right? But it is very heavy for me. I have to sometimes go into a bank and explain to them, listen, this ain't even my car; it's just in my name, and then he
That's
got the same last name. So
that
for
brings up,
me,
yep.
yeah, I'm cool.
That
And for
brings up a good
people,
point
oh, I'm sorry.
because now you just said it. With all those other cars, now your debt has increased. That comes back to even with me being in real estate. That debt to
Debt to
income,
income.
Yeah,
listen, yeah, y'all may pay them faithfully on time, but that debt, whoo, listen, it's heavy. And like you said, you got to explain we shouldn't be having to do all that.
yeah,
And the sad part is, I think a lot of people don't know how all of this stuff connects. It connects
yeah,
like Legos. When you brought up, you said it makes you heavy, and you have to do the explaining. She just told us about the debt to income ratio, and let me explain something to y'all people. I do the lending side of it. There's no more explaining that my wife or my husband pays that bill when it is on a joint account,
yep,
especially if it's another house or a
Hmm.
big purchase like a vehicle, a boat, or whatever like that. They removed that law, that rule where lenders can say, okay, well, you can show us that you don't pay it. We're good
right.
to go. We won't consider it. They don't care no more.
Hmm.
Right.
And I had a loan that we had to finagle because we thought the lender was going to be okay with it. And it was like, no. So we ended up having to refinance her off her home because she signed for her daughter
Hmm.
because her daughter didn't have the income.
Hmm.
So she's trying to help her daughter and end up getting kicked off her own home loan. And that's a good parent because I would have like, girl, you just on your own. And that why do I want to get kicked off my home
Right.
to make sure you get into your home?
Yeah,
You're just gonna
Exactly.
have to wait until you have the income. That's just how that is.
Yep.
And we'll help you out. But people keep in mind, and I was in that same predicament, 3 cars, that's that high inch, we had almost $1,500 a month in car payments. We had almost $1,200 a month. No, it was $1,000 a month in car insurance. all of this stuff, and it doesn't matter if you're making six figures.
Yeah.
The gross don't matter when it's time for
Mm-mm.
bill time because you're working
Yeah.
off net.
Yeah.
So don't overload yourself trying to be friendly. Don't over sometimes sometimes it's okay to say no.
Hmm.
I tell people that all the time. It's okay. It is okay to say no because yes, they may get mad at you for a period of time, but it's okay. But guess
Yeah.
what? They probably gonna ask somebody else to do it.
Hmm.
Or
But a
they
lot of
can
times, if
wait to
people
do it.
right, and that's the thing too. People are asking someone to co-sign again. It could be because of income, but also majority of it is because they already jacked up their credit. Right. So
Hmm.
Hmm.
again, if we just take the time to really focus and again, look at it, pull up your credit report today, see what you have on there, see if you've got derogatories, see what's your personal information looks like. Look at all of that and then determine, okay, I need some help.
Right.
We got to
Um,
have some help.
since you're talking about co-signing, I just want people to know that there are actually companies out there that will co-sign with you on certain products. And let me explain something to you. This is why it's important to have your own credit because they're gonna charge you out the wazoo to do it.
Rentals are good at that.
They will co-sign for you. I have five companies that's on my list. When I say, hey, you can get them to help you, but you gonna pay for this help.
Yeah.
So we're trying to help you to be able to do it on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing too. And I'm so glad you brought that up, Joy, because people don't realize having bad credit is costing you more money.
Interest rates
Yeah.
alone,
Interest,
That part.
double security deposits, um,
late fees.
all of that.
They gonna
I
I
make that
mean,
mean,
and
money.
just even if you overdraft, and this I had to learn these hard lessons too. I had the overdraft protection on one of my accounts. I've learned my lesson, so I'm telling y'all. I always had overdraft protection on my thing, and I'm thinking it's a benefit for me if I need a couple extra dollars, blah blah blah. But if something for eight, first of all, the bank is going to pick and choose which one they're going to pay.
yeah,
And if they choose to pay the $8.99 charge, they're charging you $35 for paying the $8.99.
right.
But then they rejected the $100 one, which you was okay with paying the 32 on the 100 because you like, I needed the 100. I ain't need that. I didn't need the Apple Music for $8.99.
Yeah.
People, it's expensive to have bad credit.
Yeah.
It's expensive to be poor.
Yeah.
It's expensive to have a poverty mindset. It's expensive.
Though, let's talk about the loans, the payday loans, the
Woo.
394%.
Interest.
No, but that is a real number. 394% is the
Yeah.
average on payday
Oh
loan.
man.
I had a client that he had some type of loan out and the interest rate was ridiculous. And he was asking, should I pay this off? Should I not? Should I make the pay? Sir, pay it off because at the end of the day, if you keep making that monthly payment,
You're
majority of
paying
that is going towards the interest. And
Yep.
by the
right.
time that you took out $1,000 loan, it then turned
You're
into 10
10.
for real.
Yeah.
So he paid it off and he
Crazy.
said, oh my God, I just saved $1,000 in interest.
Wow.
And a lot of people don't know because I love them. Affirm, all of those
Uh
companies,
huh.
they're reporting.
Okay.
So if you
Oh, I
got
see him on
28
there.
of them, yeah, if you
Yeah.
got 28, you pull mine, you're going to see it. And I'll go and tell them my own stuff. They there. I love them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they do report now. But if we
Mhm.
could go back to the payday loan thing, because a lot of people don't understand that again, we want quick, we want easy. And sometimes we do need it. But you have to utilize other alternatives if you need a little bridge. You got Earn It, and no, we're not getting any money from them, but we need to. You got Earn It, you got Albert, you got those type of companies a little bit cheaper
Right.
to get a payday advance, because that's what they call it, a
Oh,
payday
okay.
advance, then go into those payday loan companies that's online because one, all, and I do mean all of those payday loan companies online are underwritten by tribal communities. And
Mm.
because they are on a reserve, they're not governed. So that means they can charge you any and everything for that particular loan. That's why you get charged 300 whatever percent. Same thing with title loans.
Yeah.
If you got a clear title and you need some extra money, I would recommend a company called Yendo, Yendo. They will give you a literal credit card with the amount that they appraise your car at. So you have a credit card that's going to report as long as you keep it up. And their interest rate is a standard interest rate on credit cards for your title versus going to a title loan company and they coming to pick it up because you missed that payment in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's alternatives, people.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you who.
That interest, I'm telling you, even when people, they don't have the best credit, but they go buy a vehicle and now they're paying 20% interest.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen it so many times. And, a car note will be $700. And now oh, I'm struggling paying this car note. It's the interest that's
That's
killing you.
that's because they wanted a Hellcat and they knew good and well they needed a Yugo because they wanted that Hellcat or that Charger.
Yeah,
And
it
yeah,
just doesn't make sense. We gotta we just have to shift our mindset and make things make sense for our budget, for our pockets, because you never know what could happen. Life happens every day,
Yeah.
and if you are not in a financial position to take on what debt you have, and then now you've lost the income, and then it's just we gotta figure out, okay, this is this is in my within my means.
Mm-hmm.
you know I, not to say anything wrong with the three cars, but if it's a single person, you got three, four different cars.
for
You can
what?
only drive one,
Right.
Hmm.
and then you got insurance on all of those vehicles. Yeah.
Full coverage.
So the whole credit repair piece is more than just credit repair. We dove into money and finances and interest rate, and like you got to start thinking like all of that plays a factor.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
So
in even in home buying, you can buy. I can get you a home loan with somebody with a 500 credit score, but you best believe you ain't gonna like it. But you
no,
got it.
no.
You
Listen,
got it.
you guys have really educated us because I was going to ask you who Albert was. Wasn't sure who he was,
Now I ain't
but
gonna lie, Albert is really good because for people who's trying to learn to save and stuff like that,
yeah,
Albert, they do because they link to your checking account where you get your direct deposit stuff like that. They're kind of bump you up as you go, but they also got a automatic rainy day savings account. So if you sign up with them, they'll send like $11 to it, whatever. And I checked in it one day, and I this was a while ago, and I needed. I was like, I just need the money to get over into that next week. I had like 300 something dollars on that little saving thing and didn't even know it.
oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Put it
So
away and forget about it. That's what my daddy
yeah,
put
always
it
said. If you
away
get
and
some,
forget about it.
yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do that myself. I just put money in a car and then yeah. But anyway,
Oh,
listen,
I got a question for her.
yeah.
How do you feel about like companies like Tomo, Credit Strong, Self? How do you feel about those?
I think they're good. And I actually have a credit card broker link that has different types of secured
Mhm,
cards tied to them, but also some of them may just be like a credit building tool
mhm,
where there's a savings or some type of loan that's going to report, and now you can start building that way. So I think that's really good, especially for people that don't have the best of credit
Mm-hmm.
and they're starting to build. That's one thing we have to start doing. We got to find these other resources that's going to give us the line of credit or the revolving lines of credit, so that way we can start building, because people will tell you, I can't get approved for anything. I can't get
Mm-hmm.
approved for
mhm,
Capital One, this and that and the other. Well, we got to start somewhere. We got to start with these starter cards. We got to start with these credit building resources that's going
mhm.
to because that's what they're there for people that have bad credit or no credit, specifically for that.
Now I have one last question. Then I'm gonna let you wrap up whatever you want to share with us.
And
Do
details of how people can reach you.
right.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you recommend? And I got this advice from I think one of one of my managers that I used to work with when I was in the Navy, putting your kids on what is it,
Mhm.
authorized
Authorized
user,
user.
right? Putting your kids on there when they I did mine's, I think they were in high school, and then by the time they got out of high school, they would at least have something if they needed to go get a car, if they need to go get a credit card, whatever that was. But and if do you recommend that, and then is it a length of time that you should leave them on there or just take them off after so long?
That's a
So
good
yes,
question.
different cards have different age requirements. So
Okay.
I've seen some cards and I can't think of them off top. I know I have a list, but there's some cards where you can start them at 13.
Hmm.
But yes, add them as an authorized user. Now, let's every time we talk about something, it always brings me to something else. You want to add them as an authorized user as long as you, the parent, one, doesn't give them the card,
Right. No.
but also you're using it properly.
Hmm.
Goes back to, okay, am I, paying it on time? Do I keep the utilization low? Because what you're going to do is going to reflect against them being an authorized user. So yes,
Got it.
I actually did that with my daughter years ago. I added her, I think, to two or three of mine, and she's at a 760 credit score at 23 years old.
Yeah,
Good.
that's
And
good.
now she's got her own credit card. She's got a store card. She got an MX.
Hmm.
So yeah, yeah, definitely that's a way to start, because if we didn't get taught as kids, and
Hmm.
then once every, you've been to college, what do? Get a free t-shirt if you apply for a credit card.
Yep.
We're racking
Student
up credit.
cards, student cards, student cards.
Listen, and so if we don't get taught now, if we know better, then we can do better, but we can also actually start teaching our kids. Again, let's go back to the five factors: pay your bills on time, credit
Mhm.
usage, keeping these accounts open forever, especially credit cards. You never want
Hmm.
to close a credit card. But back to what you was asking about how long we should leave them on forever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt them.
Yeah.
Anything is just going to keep building up credit. The credit age goes
Hmm.
back to the student loans. You've had, your child has been on your credit card since they was 10 and now they're 30, you know?
Gotcha. Oh,
So,
good
yeah,
stuff. So yeah, so now we'll leave we're a little bit over, so I apologize if you
it's
had
okay.
something else. But go ahead and share with us how we can get in touch with you. And for those who need to attend the September 8th workshop that you have going on, let us know how we can do that.
Yes. So you can find me on all socials, Facebook under Karonda Hurt, Hurt, Instagram and TikTok, CEO at, no, look, I had to think what my TikTok and Instagram is consult with Karanda. Yes, TikTok and Instagram consult with Karanda. You can follow me there. Again, on Facebook, it's Karanda Hurt, Hurt. The DIY service, and again, it's do it yourself. But again, it's literally broken down into the same tools, templates. You just click a button, choose your reason. Like, it's easy, y'all. That bundle drops, but it's also going to be attached with an ebook that's going to break down some information about credit too. So it's kind of a prerequisite, and then you get the DIY service. But I'm dropping that September the 8th. First come, first serve. So I do have a VIP list. So if you register on the VIP list, September 8th, you'll be the first ones to get it.
I love that.
Yep. Oh, and the
Mm.
VIP list is in the link in my bio
On Facebook.
on all socials. Yep.
On
Gotcha.
social.
Okay.
And you do offer services for people who are lazy like us.
Yes, I do
That you
offer I do offer full services as well. Yes. So if again, time constraint, you can't do it on your own, I'd be glad to help you. I will tell you, you have to trust the process. It's definitely not something that's going to
mm,
happen overnight, but I tell you, if you follow my lead and just do exactly what I tell you to do, you'll get the results that you want. And Joy's in the real estate industry. I am too. I'm getting people into homes, y'all. If that's your goal, look, let's go. And now's
I
the
don't
time.
right. I don't do your credit. You got to go to somebody else for that because I ain't got the patience.
Yeah.
But you either gonna pay her or you gonna have to pay somebody else. I'd rather you pay her to get it done and you have success because we want you to have wisdom with it. We want you to have
Yes.
knowledge so that you can continue to be, do what you need to do. Don't do a one time thing and the next thing you know, you're back damaged and then you're calling because you're back damaged.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Well, again, thank you so much, Karanda, for spending your Friday evening with us and
This was
educating
fun.
us, right? Yeah, absolutely. Listen, we're gonna have to invite you back because we didn't even get to all the other things that we wanted to talk about. But again, let me just wrap all of this up. Make sure that you guys are aware of what's on your credit report so that you know how to tackle that. And if you need extra help, if you need guidance, if you need somebody to hold your hand through that process, Karanda is available. Just reach out to her and make sure that you take advantage of that. We don't have to be out here paying 399% APR. We do not have to do that. We have to shift our mindset in thinking long term versus just right now. Maybe
Exactly.
we don't need 3 cars right now. But my point in saying that, we've got to shift our mindset, and Regal Mindset, we're trying to do that and educate the community as well. And we appreciate you coming on and sharing your subject matter expertise with all of us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you all again. Look, anytime.
Okay, I'm gonna
Thank you so
inbox you.
much.
Yes.
She ain't gonna slide.
Right. Absolutely. Listen, everybody, y'all have a great weekend. Thank you to the comments. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you're following us on YouTube. We're trying to increase our engagement. So please, 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 please go like our YouTube page and follow us.
Awesome.
Have a good weekend, guys.
See you later. Thank you.
Thank you.